Hi anybody, I'm Luppi, and we are playing some more Mario Minecraft. Let us not look into the eyes of a still sky. Let us assess what we still need to do here. We've got a lot of chorus fruit for some reason. I think that's just because we were cleaning up the view, weren't we? We got a lot of stone. Got a decent amount of wood, and we have no dirt. Okay. So maybe the first thing we will do this time is take a stack of cobblestone. Take our sticks. Actually go through the portals and do some mining real quick. I don't really like to start with mining, but you know what? We'll gather more dirt. We'll maybe get some more stone, and we'll work to finally finalize our island's foundation and general shape. And then hopefully next time or this time we can actually finish the island completely. Okay, did I make it? I made it to the main island. Okay. Damaged on the main island. Fair enough. Hey, this time we're actually, we're not getting a game over to go back home. We're just skipping the credits. Watching as everything loads in with wrong colors and whatever. So, what was I doing? Tools, making tools, that's right. We'll want a pickaxe or two. And we'll want a shovel or 3 or 4. How about like 4 or 5 each? I feel like we're gonna want... I feel like that's fine. We're going to exhaust ourselves if we don't... if we don't pace ourselves a little bit on this stuff. So... where are we acquiring our resources for this endeavor? That is the question, isn't it? Because I don't want to keep... I don't want to keep mining what used to be our... Like, we can get the stone from there, that's fine, actually. That's probably okay. Maybe. Allegedly, it's fine. I don't know. I don't know how okay I am with this, actually. So this is becoming quite the thing. I think we'll leave one layer of stone underneath the dirt, so it doesn't look totally garbage. We can get some nice stone pillars going up there and make it look like it's intentional. Once we have this whole area like uniformly cleared out. We can have a little, like, forest, underground base, I guess. Add some fencing. I don't know. We'll see how it ends up being in the future. We've still got quite a few videos left of Mario Minecraft, so we'll figure it out. It's funny for me to think that this was supposed to be like a short interlude, and then it ended up being the Minecraft experience on this channel. That's fine. That's okay. As long as we're still not playing this in like 4 years, it's fine, right? There's other kinds of Minecraft experience to be had. And as much as I would appreciate having a really old, quirky Wii U edition world as our forever world, I'm not a guy who wants to be tied down like that. I want to experience things. I want to get out there and see what life has to offer. What Minecraft worlds have to offer, you know? And if that seems non-committal, if that seems a little flaky, that's okay. It is. You're okay to judge me like that. We're not getting married. Or anything. You don't even have... You're probably not even subscribed to my channel. Shame on you. I mean, I'd say that if I believed it. I don't know, I feel like that's a kind of terrible thing to say. I don't believe in my content. I don't put any effort into it. That's really gross. Like, I play the games, and I do try to edit out parts where, like, I left and went to the bathroom, so I'm just standing around for an hour. Or not really an hour, but, you know, like 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 10 minutes, you know? Sometimes you leave to address something, and then the dog needs to go out, and then the mail comes, and then the neighbor starts talking to you, and before you get back, it's been like 2 hours, and it's like, holy crap. Yikes. That doesn't happen often. But it has happened before, so, oh well. So yeah, how are you guys doing this week? Are you having a fun week? Having a good week? Doing anything neat? I hung out with some friends I haven't seen in a while. It was a friend's son's birthday, so that's cool. It's neat that my friends are starting to have kids. He's at that age where he's into Mario, so that's a really cool age to be at. I remember being that young. I say, still playing Mario games as an adult. Being fairly uncompromising in my love of Mario. But yeah, it was a neat thing. It was nice to see people I haven't seen in a while. It was nice to meet people that I haven't met ever, who are either married or friends with people I haven't seen in a while. So it's nice. It's one of those things where it's hard to hate people, because I know I say, like, intellectually, like, oh yes, I hate the humans. But it's really hard to dislike people, like, when you're seeing people in person, you know? Like, it's easy to say you hate humans, or even people, intellectually. But, I don't know, whenever I spend time with people, like, I always come out of it just really liking people, just really liking life, being glad I'm here. It's one of those things that makes me think that, like, I'm not an introvert, I'm just an extrovert with anxiety. Because, yeah, my social battery does actually fill up with the right kinds of people. There are definitely people, though, where it's, like, just encountering them and having to, like... I feel like it's the difference between, like, hanging out and letting the time fly by and, like, having to deal with people and counting the seconds, you know, as they tick away. As you feel like the waste of your time. I think that's what a genuine friendship is where you don't feel like the people are wasting your time no matter what they come to you with. Where it always feels like you get something out of it because you just enjoy being with them. Hearing what they gotta say, hearing what they're up to. So yeah, I had a good time this weekend. It did mean I'm a little behind recording, but once again, we're recording during the day, which is awesome. Hopefully the dog doesn't bark. He will, he always does. There's always something that's going to happen. And I don't know though, I may have worn out my throat talking yesterday a little bit. We'll see. I feel a little constricted there in the airways a bit. But it's not too terribly bad, so maybe if I just get into the swing of things, we'll be fine. I never know. You know, sometimes it's one of those things where you just kind of gotta see how it goes when you're in the situation. And I also spent a lot of time because I got a ride from my sister's husband, because it was my sister is also friends with my friends, but she became friends with them at different points. So we went up together to see this birthday party, and we had some good. me and the brother-in-law had some good chats about video game nerding out, I guess we could say. That was good. That was nice too. It definitely made the drive go a lot faster. Apparently, it's really grateful because my younger sister does not talk in the car. So basically, it'll just be him just either bored out of his mind while driving, or just trying to talk about stuff, and she'll just be like, yeah, yep, yep, nope, yep, uh-huh. So, I don't know, I couldn't handle that. That would just make me feel bad. I'd lose my self-esteem if somebody, like, routinely, like, participated in conversations with me like that. I would just... all of my weird, paranoid fears about just being boring and inadequate as a human being would just be proven true by that kind of behavior. I don't know. I get it. Like, I don't know, being in a car is a very different way of being than, like, just walking around. Like, we all have different brains, you know? And, like, if I'm moving, well, not really moving, like on a swing set or on a trampoline or in a car, like, I too also, like, enter a very daydream heavy, very, like, internal kind of thought process. But, I find when I'm in a car and I need to focus on talking to someone, if someone's interested in talking to me, just, like, kind of looking at them or looking out the front window really helps. I'm the kind of person where if I look out the side window, then I will instantly enter, like, daydream mode. I find it really hard to focus on anything that isn't, like, zooming past my eyes. But yeah, we talked about games we played and games we didn't play yet. Apparently he's playing Donkey Kong Bonanza. He's enjoying that. He was like, I didn't think I would because I've never enjoyed Donkey Kong games before. And it's like, I can understand that. Like, Donkey Kong 64 is it's a beast, you know? It's a very unique kind of game where I feel like Donkey Kong 64 doesn't know what kind of audience it wants. It's a weird thing to say about a game that's like, what, 20 or 30 years old? Yeah, it's like 20, 25, 24, something like that. It came out in like 2000 or 2001. 1999. I don't know, somewhere in there. It came out after Ocarina of Time, around the same time like Majora's Mask did. That would have been like 2000, 2021. Or not 2021, 2001. Jesus Christ. My sense of time is ruined. But yeah, he's enjoying Donkey Kong Bonanza. I haven't had a chance to play it. I don't know when I'll have a chance to play it. It's one of those games where I don't know if I'd rather play it once on my own and get a private experience and then just play it for the channel at some point when I have free time. Or if I'd rather save it and play it for the channel blind. I don't know. I feel it can go either way. Like, most of the games I play on the channel, I haven't played blind. Like, you know, I've played Minecraft before. I've played all of the Animal Crossings before. The Marios, often I've at least dabbled in them. I feel like the only one I hadn't played before was New Super Mario Bros. 2 for the 3DS. That one was, that was the first time I played that. But at the same time, it's like, does it really matter if you played a game like 10 years ago, like New Super Mario Bros. 1, the Nintendo DS one? I played that when I was in high school, and then I played that a few summers ago for the channel, so... You know, I didn't remember anything, and definitely got tripped up on a lot of the random stage whatevers. As Bowser intends, you know? So we'll see. I've definitely heard a lot of good things about Donkey Kong Bonanza, so I'm excited to eventually get around to it whenever, however, I'm excited for it. I've been enjoying reading some of the forums about it, about how it kind of ruins the Mario timeline, even though Mario games have never had a strict timeline. Like, I appreciate that. I appreciate when a when a Mario game throws a wrench into, like, how people understand the Mario universe. I don't think the Mario universe is supposed to be understood. Like, I think it's very much, like, a non-brain breaky version of, like, the Ina universe from the Ina series, if you guys know that. That also has a game, Ina Dream Barbecue. It's free on Steam, and you can get bonus stuff if you pay for the $10 version, I think. But yeah, Ina is a series that's, like, very much all about, like, old school computer garbage and old school, like, video game garbage. And it kind of just mixes them up with quirky characters and really weird environments and situations. And it's something I appreciate, but it's definitely not something where you're supposed to, like, understand it completely. And I kind of feel the Mario universe it's a similar thing, even though the Mario universe, like, definitely has its own rules and its own set of characters. At the same time, like, Nintendo does seem, and the developers seem to treat Mario as something where it's more about the importance of making a good game than telling a story that fits in with all the other stories, which is kind of interesting. It's definitely fascinating. But I don't think Mario's that strong in the whole thing. It's just like it's about a different perspective of storytelling than just, you know, we're telling a cohesive narrative. We're talking about an epic saga between a plumber and a bunch of turtles. You know, it's it's basically like if we can make a good game by having Mario compete with Donkey Kong, we'll do that. If we can make a good game having Mario compete with his own brother or Wario or whoever, we'll do that. Like, I can appreciate that kind of mentality. Definitely not the worst thing. Okay, so we do have a fair amount of stone at this point. We also have a fair amount of not stone. So that's pretty cool. And we do have some dirt, which is nice. I always appreciate more dirt. We're gonna have to figure out where we're gonna get even more dirt, though. Like, I think at this point we should have enough cobblestone. Once we break that pickaxe, we'll have enough, I think. But then we have to figure out where to get the dirt. And that's always the toughest part. That's always the hardest part. I never quite know where to mine next for all the dirt. Honestly, we should have removed all the dirt from the mountain we were netherizing. Oh, that could have been a thing. That could have been a very nice thing. Alright, this pickaxe is about to go. At some point. Sooner than later. It'll break sooner than later. We will unexpectedly hear it go. Make its weird crunk noise. Reach its breaking point. Yeah, there we go. We are right at the edge. There we go. Perfect. So now we have to Find a place to mine some dirt. Honestly, maybe over here? That looks like a mountain anyways. And it's not too far from an outpost, so it wouldn't be too hard to just go back and forth if we have to. Yeah, we can mine this thing and turn it into a non-natural looking mountain. Okay. Go to the... There we go. And then we'll take a nap, we'll eat some carrots, we'll throw an egg. And there we are. We're not too far away from our own base, so that's good. Alright, we can surface. We can swim around aquatic trees. That's good. Okay, let's get rid of our shovels. Let's dig, 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 dig. Let us expose all the rock underneath this dirt. Expose it for its horrible crimes against this Minecraft world. Although we'll probably leave the gravel because I don't wanna waste my shovel gathering stuff. Of course we might. Really, all you animals need to get out of here. You're in my way. Yeah, I can't wait until I don't know. I know what I can't wait for. I was going to say something, but then I realized it really doesn't need to be said. There's another outpost. Cool, cool. That one might be even closer. It's a little more convenient, I would say. And there's a well from the from the village that we locked up. Oh well. It is what it is. Where there's a well, there's a way. I feel like that was a line in a show I used to watch as a kid. I wonder if that's actually a thing. Where there's a well, there's a way. Was it called Wishing Well? Was it about, like, jobs and stuff? I think so. I think that's what it was. I don't know. There were a lot of edutainment shows back in the day. I used to eat that stuff up all the time, though. I did not mind it. I know there's a lot of like bias against edutainment. Because a lot of it is like either incivilous or outright wrong or lazily done or boring. But I don't know, I think there's a lot of good edutainment shows out there. Or there were. Maybe it's different when you're an adult. You know, things that were entertaining when you were young aren't entertaining anymore now that you've grown up. And sometimes it's not even entertaining, it's just like tons of things are just really cringe when you grow up. And that's always unfortunate too. Like, I'm a guy who loves Digimon, but I struggle to rewatch it. Because a lot of it is just like, it definitely pulls at your emotions as a kid. But it's also really cringy as an adult watching it. I don't know. When Digimon used to be on Netflix back in the day, I ended up watching season 2 in Japanese just because I couldn't handle the English dub. And the Japanese version is very different tonally. I feel like that's a lot of anime though, where like if you have one version you like, then the other version will be off, you know? And that's unfortunate. Like I've been trying to watch dubbed anime on Disney Plus because I'm just trying to watch stuff while I'm like playing games and stuff while I'm recording. So I don't want to be distracted by not understanding what's going on. But some of them, it's really hard, and then other ones, like you can tell when like certain companies only use like the same like 3 or 4 people to do voices, and like it's like, oh yes, gruff heroic character is always this guy. The adult woman is always this one. The childish woman or adultist girl is always this person. It's a little funny. But it's also like, man, why don't we have more voice actors? And there's a lot of reasons I actually wouldn't be able to like list off. It's not really something I'm that aware of. Like what reasons? I'm sure it's got to be about unions. It's got to be about, you know, company brands being more invested in growing their brand with celebrity voice actors than having a team of professional voice actors. I don't know, but I'm sure there's a lot of different kinds of issues, as there are with any industry. We've definitely reached a point where every company seems to be willing to save a few cents if it means not having to pay someone $1, you know? Or is it the other way around? Willing to save a few dollars by not paying people cents. I don't know. Wow, we accidentally got rid of a sheep with a shovel. That means that's less dirt I can collect. No, how could sheep get in my way? How evil. How nefarious that sheep that I slayed accidentally. I didn't mean to do it. It just got in front of me and then I hit it all over its body with my shovel. Until it folded on the floor like a piece of paper. How villainous that folded sheep is. Here lies an evil beast, ruining my day and impeding my work. Just let me work hard. Just let me work as long as I need to. Be gone, foul beast. You're also in my way, piggy. Why are there so many animals here? I am just surrounded by beasts. Beasts of all kinds and flavors. Yum yum. And now one of my neighbors is mowing, so hopefully you guys can't hear that. I can. And it's obnoxious. But that's what happens when you record during the day. The dog barks, the neighbors mow. Sometimes you hear the really loud birds over your headphones, over the video game music. That's just a part and parcel of recording during the day. The nice thing is I don't think any of you guys can hear that, so that's really cool. That's really good. That's how it should be. As long as you can hear it, it's fine if I'm annoyed, right? Get out of my way, pig. This shovel blade is not meant for you, but it will cut you down nonetheless. Okay, we are nearing the end of our shoveling as well. Hip hip hooray. Hip hip ho-way. Well, I said that, but apparently we're still going. I also hear spiders, which is fascinating. I don't know where they are. Then I guess we'll have to wander around the mountain a little bit just to make sure we grabbed everything we could. Unfortunate. We did expose a little bit of coal, though. Alrighty. I'm hearing all kinds of animals. There is a part of me, though, that just wants to keep mining, and not mining, but digging with our hands until we get a full stack of dirt. Or until a mob destroys us. Either way. The sun is setting on our little outer excursion. It took us a little bit longer than I would have liked, but it didn't take us as long as it could have, so we've still got, what, almost 3/4 of our video session, unless something happens and I have to cut it early. Like someone knocks frantically on my door and tells me my house is burning down. Or there's suddenly an explosion and it turns out my house exploded. That would stink. That would be terrible. Especially because I live here. I don't think I could survive that. If the house goes, I think I'm going too, guys. I feel like that's the logical conclusion of that. Alright, that is it for our digging. And this will be our designated dirt place, I guess, until we get rid of it all. Should we need it? We may not need any more dirt after this. You never know. The nice thing about the outposts in the middle of nowhere are there shouldn't be any enemies that'll keep us from being able to sleep. Allegedly. Heck yeah. The way it should be. Although this might be a version of Minecraft where that doesn't really matter so much. I don't remember. Were we ever kept awake by random things just knocking on our door? Maybe. I don't know. I don't have a memory that lasts hours, much less weeks. Or months, or a year, you know. We've been doing this for a while. Kind of a hot minute. So let us get rid of everything we don't need and then go back and then... Let's see, we got some more iron. And then we can get rid of our flint. And then we can get rid of, we can get rid of seeds. Don't care about that. Never have, never will. And then granite, gravel. I mean, we may want gravel. I may keep gravel, actually. White wool. I don't really care anymore. Okay, so we got a lot of things. Yeah, the mower doesn't pick up on the microphone. It might still be there as I'm talking, but you know, oh well. Could just be a slight buzz, a slight hum. If you hear it louder than that, tell me. We'll make sure to stop recording during the day. Or try to set it up so we record earlier in the morning during the day. Like, it's afternoon. This is pretty terribly late for me. But I had a long day. Yesterday, so, oh well. I needed a nap. Also, I stayed up too late before going to the party, and then I woke up earlier than... I mean, I woke up on time for what I needed to, but it's earlier than I would have liked for how late I stayed up. But, oh well. You know, we do what we can here. We're always just doing what we can. Even if it doesn't feel like it's enough. One thing I did do when I went out to buy birthday gifts for the birthday boy, I picked up some snacks for myself, and I learned I actually don't dislike the Little Debbie cupcakes, like the ones that are like the Hostess cupcakes, but like slightly inferior. I mean, I feel like they're about the same in terms of like being like these gross, greasy, fatty chocolate cakes with frosting inside. Like, honestly, I should stop eating them, but like there's a part of me that just can't stop. And probably never will ever have the willpower to stop. Alrighty, we made it here once again. Let's try not to fall down. Yeah, that's my feelings as well, still guy. Let's try not to fall down. And then today, I would like to work on the stone underneath and then the general shape of the dirt on top. Although there is a part of me that's like, what if we did a thing? Really? You're not letting me... Oh, I got it. I got you. This is really dumb, but this is probably the only way we're going to get this thing to behave. To not be a drowning hazard for children. Gotta be... Even in Minecraft, we gotta make sure we don't create drowning hazards for innocent children. Also, it's infuriating to be moved around randomly when you're in a body of water. You know, it's not acceptable. How dare it? Wait, is that? And this is all okay now. See, I knew it. I knew we could fix this just by forcing the game to conform to our will. It's gonna suck when we mine everything and end up with like, what, 10 less gravel pieces? But so it goes. Or alternatively, it's gonna really suck when we get rid of all the gravel and it goes back to being a complete mess. That's what's gonna happen, isn't it? That's what's gonna happen. We assert ourselves, our authority over nature, and it just says, nope, idiot. LOL, idiot. Sucks to suck, idiot. But Mother Nature in Minecraft doesn't play. Why, I can burn your house down with a thunderbolt. A lightning strike. Deal with it. Yeah, we don't have enough gravel to fill up this entire thing. I don't think we need to. I think as long as we... Yeah, look at that, look at that. This whole portion is now totally fine. Now watch me ruin this, though. Oh, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it is totally fine. It's totally fine. We just have to make sure... Right? I'm not moving funny? Nice. I hate that this works. I hate that I didn't think of this originally. This would have been way smarter to just fill in everything with like gravel or dirt and then come in later with water. Wait. Yeah, it's still calm. Calm and fair. As waters and princesses should be. That's not how all of the wee lasses need to be, but you know, if it's a princess, I feel like they should be calm and fair. At least until it's time to, like, claim your father's blade and slay a dragon or something. Behead a usurper. You know. Deal with a miscreant prince. There are definitely valid reasons to not be a fair and calm princess. Come on. Let's slowly but surely deal with this. Bit by bit. You would have told me this was the way it had to be. I would have told you, I guess, but I don't like it. This is a waste of time. But we're making a calm, we're actually making a calm lake, so that's pretty cool. How's that for action in action? Physics in action. By simply placing 2 pieces of gravel or dirt underneath a 3-thing-high piece of water, you can make it calm. If only I could do the same thing to my parents' dog. That dog does not know how to chill. He does not know the definition of you're a little too much right now. Once he's in the excited zone, he's not leaving it willingly. He's only leaving it unwillingly by being ignored until his little doggy heart breaks. It's unfortunate. I don't know. I really feel like they should have just taken him to like some sort of like doggy training school. I don't know if it would have helped. Because he's definitely a very extreme case of extreme dog mood. Golden Retriever, like, energy. But at the same time, like, maybe it could have helped. And he's definitely a nightmare when he's at his worst. He's just destroying stuff and jumping on people. I don't know. Not really a fan of it. Not gonna blame him. He's just doing what dogs do, you know. But I can definitely be a little resentful, I feel. That I, a person who never consented to a dog, am forced to deal with dog constantly. Oh, look at that. We got 12 pieces of flint. And what if I don't want to do the dirt because it's going to take longer to do anything. But it doesn't turn into flint. And we've got a bunch of it, so we might as well just... well, we've got it. We might as well just do it. Get this thing set up. And we may not take everything out of the pool, but we will, unless we use up all our dirt here, and then we will. Come on. Look at that. Isn't that a lot better? Oh hey, there's more gravel. It's just floating up randomly. We missed it before. Alrighty, awesome. The awesome opossums. I really wish Star versus the Forces of Evil had a better ending. Gosh darn it, stop doing that. Stop moving me in a way where that happens. Okay, that might be it. Okay, let us... Come on. Quit it. Quit it. Quit it. Quit it. Quit it. Quit it. I hate this. I have to fight with the water so I can do what I need to do. Come on. We may use a polar dirt doing this, though. That's my fear. We're gonna use a polar dirt doing this. Oh well. It needs to be done. One more thing checked off the checklist, right? One more thing off the checklist. Hooray. You guys read or watch anything good? I don't think I have. I've been just watching like YouTube videos actually. Trying to get through that watch later list again. I don't know. I guess the one thing I notice watching random VTubers is a lot of them will put out very similar or the exact same like kind of content around the same period of time. And I don't know if it's like a follow the leader thing or if it's like a bunch of these seemingly independent VTubers are actually like from the same, getting paid by the same like people or the same like organization or company secretly, or maybe not so secretly. I don't know. Like, I felt like I was watching a lot of more independent ones who weren't affiliated with companies. But then a lot of them post, like, you'll see one do a reaction to, like, Ina, and then all the other ones will too around the same period of time. So I don't know. It's a little weird. And I don't want to be all conspiracy brain and be like, oh yes, they're all getting paid secretly by the same company that's trying to secretly control, like, something on YouTube. I don't know. I don't think it's that deep. But it definitely kind of sucks, you know, if it's a case of like, oh yeah, this person always gets numbers whenever they do a thing, so I'm gonna copy them and do the exact same stuff they do. Like, why? Like, have a little more confidence. If somebody's watching you, then they're here for you. Like, you realize that, right, VTubers? Like, I don't know. I'm not really into the React meta. And I haven't been for a while. I remember when the Fine Bros got, like, ruined because they tried to, like, control Reacts, I guess. Like, I don't know. It's been wild watching people hate React content while still watching it, watching people who railed against it becoming basically React content farms. I don't know. It's definitely a very weird place. So I guess keep an eye out for that. If anybody figures that out, tell me. I don't really have the time to do any like investigative journalism on VTubers. I'll leave that to other people. It's just something I noticed casually watching a few of them. Like, it's really weird, like, when several, like, unconnected, unaffiliated, independent VTubers follow the same stuff. And there's a part of me that's just like, it's gotta be, like, follow the leader. People with no confidence who have to keep their numbers up. Just, you know, if somebody else does something that gets numbers, we're gonna do exactly what they do. So we can keep getting our paycheck. And that's fine, you know. That's not really the way I do things here. I'm not. I'm going to die destitute because I refuse to follow the rules that make you money on YouTube. Not in like I curse or I'm just not following terms of service. It's just like the meta on YouTube, you know? You have channels that do one thing and people come to you to see the one thing. And if you want to do a second thing, you have to make a second channel, and it's like, that's dumb. And like, how does the algorithm define like what the second thing is? If like I'm playing Minecraft and I suddenly start playing Pokemon, does the Pokemon playthroughs need their own separate channel? Or is the umbrella of video games good enough? Or is like the umbrella of Nintendo games its own thing, and the umbrella of like online games playing on Steam or other games, like, I don't know. It's something that like, I understand why people do it, but I also think like, I don't know. It's a little different though when people are earning a paycheck and they're very desperate to not go back to like a retail job or an office job. I get it. I don't want to go back to a lot of jobs I've worked before. You know, like, if you don't have to go back, if you can do the work and never go back, you'll do the work. Like, that's the thing. So I understand where a lot of YouTubers come from. But at the same time, it's like, I just dislike the whole YouTube meta. I'm just gonna have the one channel, and it's gonna have a bunch of videos, and it's gonna be a horrible experience for anybody who wants to watch anything. And you're just gonna have to suffer through it. I'm not here for a good time, I'm here for a video game time. That's terrible. I do try to keep up the playlist. I do try to have them in like order from oldest to newest. Occasionally newest to oldest. Like, it really depends what kind of thing it is. Yeah, if you want to see, if you enjoy content, definitely go through my playlist and definitely, you know, watch Minecraft. There's a playlist for that. You'll have to scroll through all the stuff that has no commentary first, and to reach the Mario Minecraft. But you know, it's there. And then there's like like a lot of the gameplay I do is separated by console or a system. Like, there's the 3DS playlist, the Wii U playlist, the Wii playlist. I'm sure there's a GameCube one, even though I've only played like one game on the GameCube, and it was only like 1 or 2 videos for it. So yeah, I don't know. Like, I try to use the tools to make this accessible, but I'm not really going to go out of my way to like obey the meta. I don't know. Like, this wasn't a career when I started, and it doesn't look like it's ever going to be a career, period. So why would I treat my hobby like a career, I guess? And maybe if my attitude was better, maybe it would. It probably would. If I treated this a little more responsibly and with a lot more care, then this would definitely be less of a painful thing for everyone involved. But I don't know, I just notice things like that, just the like little meta things about uploading videos and trying to keep the attention of your fan base and the algorithm. And I get it, but I'm just here to play games, and I'm a little obsessive, so we're gonna end up playing the same game a bunch until I'm done with it. Like, Mario Minecraft was, I said before in this video, that Mario Minecraft was supposed to be a short interlude until I fixed my computer, and then we went back to old-timey Minecraft. I didn't expect to enjoy it this much. And I certainly didn't expect to be able to just do so much in a small Wii U version of Minecraft world. We're using up all our dirt. Goodness gracious. What a way to be. What a world, what a world, what a world. Or like Animal Crossing. Like, the first Animal Crossing video I made for this channel was just me showing off a town. I recorded it on a camera, and I was showing off a town on Animal Force for the Nintendo 64. Because I got it working on my English N64. I was actually playing a Japanese game. There's actually multiple ways to play Japanese N64 games on a American, United States version N64. You can either screw off and remove the backplate of the Japanese N64 cartridge, and replace it with an English one. Because it's just the little tabbies on the bottom that keep it from working. Like, it won't plug in properly. Or you can actually disassemble your N64, and you can replace the little plate that goes around the port, and get one that's like universal, or like it's for English and Japanese, so both carts will fit basically. And that that one replacing the port itself, or adapting the port itself, there we go, would be the cheapest option, so you don't have to constantly like either switch your cartridges or ruin a cartridge or whatever. But at the same time, it's like, I do enjoy buying copies of like random versions of John Madden football, like Madden 96, Madden 97, Madden 99, Madden 98, and just using those as like sacrifices, turning them into a very English, a very American game that can only really be played on a Japanese N64 now. That's funny to me. And the stack grows a little bit every time I buy another Japanese game. I haven't done it in a while. Okay. Alrighty. We did it. It took an hour. I mean, it took half an hour to fill up this pond, so that's cool. I don't know why I'm so sweaty now. I was not actually putting all this stuff into stuff. But I'm exhausted. Not really, but allegedly, apparently. Let's make a shovel or two and then gather up our stuff again. I know that's not really going to work, but I can believe, right? I can pretend. Okay. There is a part of me that's like, we should leave this stuff here, but I need the dirt. We need the dirt. And at least now we shouldn't get moved around, so it should be a little easier to deal with. We'll use a shovel, and that should make it go a bit faster. It's definitely kind of a waste of time, but it could be worse. And at least now we get to experience the sounds of blocks of dirt splashing around our now calm and appropriately swimmable lake. Our pool is now... I mean, it's not safe for children. We still need a lifeguard. Life preservers. But, you know, at least if they do drown here, they can respawn in the overworld, where they can't be harmed by stilt guys. So that's a plus. Deal with the kids by sending them back home. By drowning. Minecraft logic is really weird. It's really weird to try to apply real-world logic to, like, Minecraft locations as well. I wonder if there's any mods that actually change the physics of Minecraft to be more like real life. That might be something to look up and try out someday. I feel like it would just make Minecraft be very painful. But I feel like the point of a lot of mods is actually just to increase the amount of pain or frustration people have while playing this game. Like, I feel like that's the two ends of the spectrum of Minecraft mods. Or just mods in general, you know? It's either making the game easier and more accessible, or it's making the game, like, frustratingly painful. With the secret third thing being making the game really weird. I'm gonna add my special interest into a game that's already many people's special interests. And if anybody gets weird about it, I'm gonna ban them. That's funny. Not really, but we'll say it is, and we'll ignore... Oh, I ruined that. I'll try to watch less VTubers. I don't know, like some of them, I think for me, the point I stop watching them is when they say something that's like really dumb. So I try not to be, I also try not to say dumb things, but I don't know, at the same time I kind of understand it. And I always say that I kind of understand it, but you know, if you have to talk for a few hours, eventually your brain and your mouth stop moving at the same speed, so you just start saying stuff that's kind of out of pocket. Just kind of not stuff you'd usually talk about. And I mean, some of them, you know, that's just how they are. They just constantly talk about weird stuff that nobody would talk about ever. And it does create really hilarious moments, or it creates cool conversations. I think it's a little easier if you set yourself up to be able to like have a chat that you can like bounce off of, like that's really good. As opposed to me just kind of talking into the void. I don't know, there's some people who are really good at it, some people who aren't. I don't think I'm that great at talking into the void. But that might just be my bias, where I don't really think I'm that great at anything. And that's fine, you know. My talents are definitely more in other areas. Which is kind of what attracted me to this. It was something new. I loved video games. I don't really feel like I'm good at talking, but you know, if I get on the right subject, if I come from the right mood, like, you know, I can be funny. It's not something I'm skilled at, but I can be occasionally, unintentionally so. But yeah, it's definitely a little harder than you would expect to be interesting, entertaining for an extended period of time. I definitely have a lot of praise for people who can consistently do that. It's definitely not a skill I have. Also, it's not a skill a lot of the VTubers I watch have either. Like, I don't know. I mean, I have a lot of dead air. There's a lot of them that don't have that issue, but still don't really have anything of value to say, even while bouncing off of chat. So that's kind of funny. I don't know. It is what it is. But yeah, usually I stop watching when somebody says something that I know is like fairly wrong. Like whether it's somebody talking about animals that I like have experience with, or somebody talking about how just random things, like, you know, talking about like getting upset about an experience at a retail store, and then it turns out that like they talk about it and it's like, yeah, but like that's not a big deal, and there's nothing the employees could have done to help you. Like, that's just how it is. Like, I would have been way worse. If you would have come to me with this issue, I would have told you like straight up, like, get out of my face, lady, like. Or, I wouldn't be that rude. But there are definitely times I'm thinking that. Well, I'm just like, yeah, I'll go to the back, or yeah, I'll see what my manager says, or yeah, I'll do this or that, you know? Like, as a retail employee, or even like some retail managers, depending on the store, like, you have no power. You have no power other than, like, you can check the back. You can check your little scanner, like your Zebra, your Sapphire, your whatever. God, does anyone still use Sapphires? Is that still a brand that gets used for, like, the little retail scanners? God, I hate Sapphires. Or at least I hated the ones we used at, was it Toys R Us? Oh my God, they were old and we never had enough. And you always had to, and you couldn't, sometimes some of them didn't have scanners that worked, so you had to punch in the UPCs by hand. You had to punch in the SKU numbers by hand. Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't miss Toys R Us. I still sometimes think about the jingle that played when we were working that holiday season when I worked there. And it's like it's like a war flashback. Do 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 do. What was the toy it was like Dubba Wubba something ball or something like that, like the bubble ball. It was like a resin and you'd blow it up and it would become like a giant inflated ball. And it was just like a gross resin. I don't remember the name, but I remember the general vibe of that commercial. And after you've heard it several times a night, several times a week, several times a month, like it wears on your sanity. Being in retail it either makes you insane or it makes you realize that you are not like neurotypical. Those are the two outcomes of working in retail. I don't know. I know I'm neurotypical because I definitely hate any part of retail that requires me to talk to another human being. I'm not even comfortable talking to my coworkers for anything that's more than just like, hey, do you know where the batteries for the scanner are? Or hey, I need you to log me in to the scanner because my password doesn't work anymore. Because apparently I was fired without being told. But nobody told me I'm fired, so I'm gonna still work my shift because I'm already here. That happens sometimes. And it turns out I wasn't fired, but there was a miscommunication, so I'm gonna have to get a new set of passwords whenever the HR person who's in charge of that gets me new passwords. I hate retail so much. And if I never have to work it again someday, I'll be very happy. Like, not to the point where I trade my soul, but I would be willing to trade, like, the the joy and happiness of everybody in a random United States state. Does anybody in Kentucky really need to be happy? What about the people in Utah or California? Does anybody even live in Maine? I don't know. I'm joking. I wouldn't trade your happiness and your futures for my own. That would be bad. And also, I feel like any entity that could make a trade like that probably wouldn't do it in my favor anyways. Those demonic types are always really tricksy. And there's only so many times you can trade your soul before it starts getting a little dicey. And I mean, I know most of you are going to be like, well, technically, if you're making demonic pacts, the first time you trade your soul is already way too dicey. You are getting screwed. And it's like, yeah, but like, the benefits? Have you thought about the implications? I did not. I do not. And that is why I'm a person who's easy to rip off and trick. Look at all this dirt we've acquired. I mean, we already acquired it once, we're just acquiring it again. My stomach just growled really loud. But I already ate. What did I have for breakfast? I had a bowl of it was not even a bowl of strawberries. It was like 4 strawberries that I had to throw 2 away because like they were the strawberries at the bottom of the carton. So like they were starting to get kind of mushy and like one was moldy. So it's like, that's gross. Probably should have looked at all of them a little closer then. But it's fine. It's fine. It is what it is. I thought they weren't that old. And I had an apple and a sandwich and one of those gross Little Debbie cupcakes. And that was my breakfast. Considering I had it at like 11, it's fine. You know what I'm going to do though when I'm done recording? I'm going to make an egg sandwich and I'm going to enjoy the crap out of that. Assuming we have eggs. I never know. You never know. Sometimes we don't. And that's okay. Sometimes they're just too expensive. Sometimes they're a luxury we cannot afford. Someday I would love to be a person who could afford all the luxuries. And I'd waste it all on another egg sandwich. Heck yeah. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about, baby. Eating the food you want. Whenever you can. Okay, I'm going to make another set of shovels, and we are going to get rid of this dirt and gravel. And then we will hopefully work on other stuff. How much time we've spent on this pool lake? I mean, we have a lot of progress to show on it. Like, we got a fence around it. It's full of water. That water is now clear and calm. It's full of dirt, but you know what? What water isn't full of dirt? Show me a standing body of water that isn't full of dirt, and I'll show you an artificial lake. I'll show you a bunch of water in a barrel. Do any of you guys live in areas where people keep like a bunch of rain barrels? You know, potentially illegally gathering up more rain than they should. I don't know. I don't know if there's any laws about that where I live. Does it count as a rain barrel if it's just a barrel that we keep open that collects water randomly throughout the year? Answer me that, Riddler. It's not like we're using it for anything, it's just there. We're just increasing the native mosquito population. Don't do that. Make sure your barrels or your buckets or your pails aren't like being used by mosquitoes. Because if you don't care, they will. And it doesn't take many of those guys to just explode the population again. Fear mosquitoes, hate mosquitoes. At the same time, like, they are good food for bats. And frogs and toads, I guess. And birds. You know, there's a lot of things that eat mosquitoes and their larvae. So, I don't know. Do what you gotta do. To keep the native population of plants and animals and whatever alive and healthy in your area. But yeah, I don't know. Like, going back to, like, watching people on YouTube or whatever, I definitely understand it when people, or why people would stop watching me, because I feel like I'm a pretty niche thing. We don't really make a lot of, like, clip content. We don't really do short form stuff. It's just a lot of fairly unedited, long-form playthroughs, which can get pretty boring, depending on the game. Or depending on how well I do at the game. So yeah, I know. It's not always that entertaining. I thank anybody who sticks with it, though. Thank you. But I don't know. Like, I recently unsubscribed from a VTuber just because of some comments he made. Like, I say this as somebody who does, like, commit the sin of talking about politics while playing Minecraft. I don't know, like, I'm not going to subscribe to people just because they have opinions I dislike. Like, to a point. There are opinions that I dislike where it's like, yeah, that's an instant, like, that's an unsubscribe, that's a block. Maybe even a report, depending on what you say. Like, I don't know. We'll see. But no, she was just like, I don't know. It was hard for me to like understand her perspective. Because she's kind of like a pro-Republican Canadian VTuber, which makes no sense to me. But she's also like not really pro-Republican, but like not anti them as well. Like I could understand it if like a Canadian VTuber or a Canadian like YouTuber was very upset with the United States. Our government has made some weird comments about the Canada's role as an entity on the American continent, you know? Like, when the president of the United States and some of his officials are like, yeah, we don't recognize Canada. I keep saying Canada as its own, like, sovereign nation. And in fact, we believe it should be the 51st state. Like, that's wild. That's kind of scary, isn't it? And I know that's old news, but I just want to think about it. It's really a weird thing to say. And it's not that weird, like, in terms of, like, power-hungry countries, you know? Definitely worse things get said all the time. But it is kind of, like, it is fairly inappropriate, right? I'm not wild for thinking that. That maybe believing that another country doesn't have its sovereign rights to its own, like, land or people is a little wild. And I know that's not really the progressive viewpoint, because the most progressive viewpoint you could have is like, actually, yeah, countries don't have the right to claim ownership over like the people or animals that live in them. You know, it's about the rights of the. We should have grabbed more wood actually as well. I'm inching along, not really thinking about what I intend to do here. Dang. But I don't know. And it's not the first time she did. She's kind of been like that. So it's just a realizing that even though her content is enjoyable, like she puts a lot of work into it, she's a very accomplished VTuber, very competent, very entertaining. Like, just realizing that her values and mine don't really align, really. And that's not a bad thing, you know? Different values can be enlightening. And sometimes it does pay to be a little more tolerant than you feel like you should. But I feel like, broadly speaking, on the world stage, you really shouldn't be forced to be in a situation where you have to compromise your values to understand another person's values. And while this isn't that case, I do think that her values are more from a business owner's perspective than like a worker's perspective. I've never been a manager or a business owner, so I don't have that perspective. I know it's definitely a very different animal than just being a normal worker, an average worker, a person who's doing all the work. I get it. But at the same time, I think it's really easy to forget that we are shaped by we're shaped by the environments we're placed in, and we're shaped by the environments we like create for ourselves. So as somebody who's worked in retail a lot, I'm shaped by that experience, for good and for bad. Like I literally state I hate retail a lot. I say that a lot. And that's true. I do hate it. And I know there are people who would openly say, like, well, hate's a four-letter word. Hate's a strong sentiment. And it's like, if you've ever had to deal with all the things I've had to deal with while working in retail, and you didn't hate it, I mean, I'd clap for you. I would. But like, I don't know. I'm not here to make excuses for other people, I guess. I'm just myself. I gotta be real careful while I'm doing this because I feel like I would jump and then I would fall. Let's see if we can't. Still can't reach. Gosh darn it, man. Really? All these oak planks. Okay. Gotta get closer. Gotta probably get a little further up. That's life. Oh well. What the heck? Really? Screw you too, I guess. Screw me, I guess. I mean, if I fall, I'll probably fall. Well, that wasn't what I wanted to do at all. Cool. Alright, we are back to crouching. That's fine. Yeah, and I understand if people don't want to watch me. Not because I'm boring or I don't say anything of value, but because, like, I do commit the sin of talking about politics while playing Minecraft. That's fair. That's okay. You can't win them all. You can't agree with everybody, right? My stated values are I don't believe people should be... I believe people should live better lives. That's what I want. I want an easy life. I want an easy life. I'm willing to work for it. But like there's a lot of bullcrap that you have to do that isn't really connected or shouldn't be connected with you know, working and living a good life. So, I don't know. That's what I'll leave you with on the ethics talk today, I guess. Just know what your values are and don't feel like you have to compromise your values for entertainment. Because it's not really worth it. It's worth it to be a person who knows what you're about and who's willing to speak up for the things you care about than to be a person who's just mindlessly consuming slop. And while I don't think that VTuber I stopped watching is making slop, like, I mean, there are a lot who do. There's a lot of people who make entertainment or are trying to make entertainment where it's just slop and it's just meant to be easily consumed by ding-dongs. And I guess talking about people like that is really terrible too. Like just dismissing people as ding-dongs just for, you know, not having the time to think about why they do things or not having the time to consider their positions. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, but if you're not thinking about why you do things and if you're just doing them like mindlessly, like aren't you kind of a ding-dong? Isn't that kind of a dumb thing to do? It's like, yeah. Yeah. But everybody does it a little bit. Most people do. You'd have to be pretty privileged not to. I would say. Maybe. Just let me freaking fill that in, you jerk. Okay. More wood gets sacrificed. More scaffolding, please. Yeah, I hear you. But I don't respect you. Getting in my way all the time. Buckaroo. Buckaree. Oh, yeah, just think about You know, when people say things and it kind of makes you feel like, actually, I don't agree with that, or actually, I'm gonna fact check that. Like, actually follow through on that. I don't know. And if you're in real life, you know, you gotta kind of, I know, you gotta weigh the odds. Like, is it worth it? Like, to disagree with this person publicly? And I mean, I wish we could live in a world where, like, everybody could just be true to their values and there wouldn't be negative repercussions because nobody's values were terrible, you know? It wouldn't be a human's stated values to where it's okay to ruin a person's life just because they disagree with you. Or, you know, a person's stated values wouldn't be so horrible where it would require them to be removed from society, one way or another. But we don't live in that world. We live in a world where people, whether they consider it or not, have a lot of really shitty takes. I'm included in that. You know, you can include me in that. That's fine. I know I have a lot of dumb opinions. And some of those are intentional, and some of those are, like, things I've thought about, and, like, I actually do believe that because I have good reasons to. I don't know. I feel like that does describe a lot of people, though, you know? We take for granted where the ideas we use to communicate come from, and kind of lose a lot of agency through that. Like, in political talk in the United States, we use the terms left-wing and right-wing a lot. And, like, how many people would be able to say, like, oh yeah, I know exactly where that comes from? Do you? Do I? And it's a small thing. It really is. And you might think it's not an important thing. But it kind of is, isn't it? Like, language is controlled by understanding. Language is defined by having an understanding of things in general. If you don't understand the terms you're using, I mean, isn't that kind of the same as being like, isn't that indoctrination when you use things without understanding the implications of the terms and conditions you're, like, setting? So I guess that's something I think about. And it's always a pet peeve of mine when people use terms like right wing or left wing. Oh goodness, I thought the stilt guy was gonna push me off for a hot second. And I'm sure, like, historians and linguists would have, like, way more insightful things to say about that kind of stuff than I do. I'm just a guy who's got a pet peeve of people just, like, using the term. Oh my gosh, when you work in retail, if I had $1 for every time some random person just used the term, like, socialist or communist to describe something that's entirely capitalist, I wouldn't be pulling my hair out constantly every day. Like, it is a weird thing. And this isn't a defense of socialism or communism. Like, I'll leave that to the political majors, you know, the thinkers. The real dangerous people. I don't know. My mind, when it comes to socialism and communism, my thoughts on the subject are, we've never actually seen either one, like, practiced fully. I think saying that the reason they'll never be practiced fully is because of human nature is kind of a cop-out. But, like, I would have to concede, like, there are a lot of greedy and selfish people, and maybe the sheer weight of them being willing to ruin everything for their own gain is a kind of a big factor. Like, you have to concede that. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe you don't. Maybe there's more good people, and The idea that everybody is greedy and self-serving and awful is a lie we're told so that we don't try to be better. I don't know. Like, there's this line in in Rick and Morty where Morty points, where they're like trapped in a dreamscape and they're being chased by like Scary Terry. He's I'm brain farting. Freddy Krueger, like XP, like a Freddy Krueger ripoff. And he's like, you can run, but you can't hide. And then Morty points out, like, why are we listening to this guy? Let's try hiding. Like, I guess, you know, it's kind of dumb to actually take your opponents at face value if they have a vested interest in you not taking them at face value. Or if they have a vested interest in misleading you. Okay, I looked at that guy and I'm glad he didn't try to attack me. Thank you. Thank you. Get out of my way. Like, if your opponents have a vested interest in lying to you, or deceiving you, or defeating you through any means necessary, it's really dumb to actually listen to them and do what they want you to do. You know? Like, I don't know. There's a little bit of wisdom in that. That may potentially be the only time Rick and Morty actually had, like, wisdom to bestow on people, but it's kind of funny. It's a little cute. Might be a little mean to say that about Rick and Morty. I enjoyed watching, like, the first 2 or 3 seasons. 4 or 5 seasons. I don't remember where I stopped. I am. I guess just know where your values come from. Be willing to question if people are actually looking out for you. And just kind of keep an eye out and try to have an understanding of what's being done and what's being done to who, you know? There's a lot of people and a lot of groups that want you to believe that they're being victimized constantly. And I think it's important to keep an eye out and see, like, who's actually launching missiles? Who's sending guns to who? Who's shooting who? Like, what violence is being perpetuated and against what groups? Because if we don't pay attention to that stuff, if we don't care, like, somebody else will. And somebody else may not care about you. So it's important to care about yourself and about the people you care about. Which is kind of a long way of saying, like, just try your best. Sorry, I'm not a poet. Sorry, I'm not a linguist. Can I? I cannot. Gosh darn it, man. Why can't I get a thing there? Is there, like, a torch there, actually? Am I dumb? No. Why? I don't understand. Weird. Okay. Whatever. It is what it is, right? Can't get too upset about it. It's just what it is what it is. And then we're just gonna continue doing stuff. Expanding all this because we can. What we would have done last time until we ran out of dirt. Because it really, I guess, like, when it comes to values, it makes no sense to say, like, you don't want your friends and loved ones to get hurt, but then, like, be pro people who want war, who could potentially draft or, like, kill other people exactly like your friends and family. Like, I don't know. It makes no sense to, like, not be against war, but also support people who are okay with, like, sending people to war. And like I also can understand like the fairly liberal viewpoint that nobody really wants war. It's just like an inevitable falling out of. It's when politics fails. Like politics is just war without violence. But also like we've had wars probably since before we could talk. Like we've probably had wars before we had politics. When you look at like what other animals are capable of doing, like ants have wars. They take slaves. They commit genocides. Like chimps commit war. They take slaves. And they eat each other. I'm not saying that's okay. I'm just saying like that's something that you find in nature. It doesn't make it natural. But it is a point to consider that war may be a more primal and more ancestral force than we really want to give it credit for. And it may be a lot harder to remove from our human like behaviors than we expect. Would be, I guess, my consideration. Well, that's just based on observations of nature, and isn't really based on observation of people, even though our history says, like, yeah, it usually doesn't matter how stupid the reasons for wars are. People like to go to war for some reason. Gotta grab up those resources and spices, I guess. Gotta prop up some ding-dong. I don't know. It's kind of wild. Although I don't really understand like the point of propping people up either. Like, you know, just hero worshipping like live people. Like I can understand it when they're dead and they've kind of got a mythos around them, like Theodore Roosevelt. For his time, you know, a pretty progressive guy. To our standards, kind of racist. Definitely a warmonger. He only decided he hated war when his freaking son died in it, and it broke his heart and killed him. At the same time, literally, with a coffee addiction and with exercise, beat asthma. Like, that's fascinating. He literally punched asthma out of his own body. And that's not exactly true. That's an exaggeration. That's a myth. But, like, he definitely did a lot of things to prevent him from not living a full life at a time where, like, a bad asthma attack would literally kill people. At the same time, like, not really progressive by our standards in a lot of ways, or at least socially. But at the same time, he was definitely anti-government and anti-like fucksticks doing whatever they wanted, using the government to like dick around with people. Like there's a case where an African American or a case where a black postmaster was removed, right? Or was it a town removed someone who was black from a post they had? I don't remember if they were a postmaster or not. But he rerouted their mail until they reinstated her. And it's like, that's really cool. You wouldn't expect that from like some random rich dude, like the scion of a wealthy family that's like going to be in politics for like another 50 years, like prominent in politics, in control of the country. We don't really expect that from some guy in the 1900s. But and he was also like pro environment, you know, definitely like one of the first like real big guys who pointed out like you can't love hunting in this country if you aren't willing to like protect it, you know? Like if you don't replenish the forest, if you don't respect the wildlife, then you lose it. Like that's awesome. It really sucks that we don't have people like that anymore. And he beat the trust. He hated corporations, or he hated interests that worked against public interests. At the same time, he was a warmonger. He would have definitely, if he could have, he would have sent young men to a lot of pointless deaths and a lot of wars if he could have. And again, the only reason he ended up being the only reasons he ever gave to be anti-war were like basically when he lost his son, and if he felt like it wasn't a warrior's war. Like he was definitely a guy where he wanted people to like charge with like bayonets and simple guns, you know, none of this like automatic stuff. Like, I don't know. He's a weird guy. He is literally a super weird guy. Theodore Roosevelt. Fucking bizarre. There's actually a part of me that kind of wants to just raise up everything. Not like everything, but like at least on this side. To a point. And we're almost out of time, and that's fine. So yeah, I guess the point I'm trying to make is like, just be aware of the people you respect, like what they're all about. Know what you're all about. Try not to be a hypocrite or a dummy. Don't let yourself get used. And please, please, please don't be willing to sacrifice your country, your countrymen, your friends, your family for your ego. I think that's important. Might be a little sappy, you know, but I think it's a bunch of stuff that kind of rings true for trying to be a good person, trying to have a healthy society. I don't know if I want to... How much we want to extend this, because on one hand, I think this is actually kind of fair. Really? Okay. Oh, that's not good. Weird, okay. I guess I'd kind of want to see how it looks from a distance. That's kind of going to be the, I kind of made it look a little too uniform, I feel. Darn. But there's a few easy fixes for that, I think. We'll probably have to do a little more stone underneath what we've added to. And I would like to make that look a little less gross as well. Whether it's extending the dirt down more actually, so it's not looking like it all is uniform with that. Or getting rid of the dirt there and extending the stone out so it's all just one big thing of stone connected. I don't know. We'll see. I might grab some more dirt though and we'll try to make this a little less of a uniform thing. I mean, I know to truly make it not uniform, we'd have to actually quit. Doing everything up like we have been, where we have like these just flat areas, you know, that's what we have to stop doing. We have to stop having straight edges, unfortunately. But that's really hard to do in a game where it's so easy to just make everything... Nope, not what I want. And we didn't grab it. Okay. I have regrets already. More regrets, unfortunately. I don't... Oh, God. Okay. And we'll let that be like that. And then we'll probably try to get this corner to be a little poofier. We could probably even, so it's not exactly the same garbage. There we go. And yeah, there we go. I feel like we're committing the same issues though. It's going to be more or less the same garbage. Oh, why does it have to be the same garbage constantly? Why can't I learn? Why can't I figure out how to do this? Why do I have no 2D spatial awareness in me? Okay, that's not bad. You know what? Why not? We'll try our best here. By mixing up that and this. And then boop boop. Come on. And then this is kind of gonna be a little funky. Maybe. Okay, not too bad so far. Maybe I was thinking fixable, but I think it's fine actually. And then we just can kind of continue doing this this two-step thing, I guess. Cool. Really? It's fine. It is what it is, right? It is what it is. We're doing what we can here. Well, maybe we'll do it like that. So it's not a huge outgrowth of the little two whatevers. Then this can be whatever, because we can't really see the back end anyways. So it can be however we want it to be. We can pretend. It's fine. Right? It's fine. It gives us a little more play anyways with how much land we've got up here. So it's fine. Used up all the dirt we gathered. I want to take a look at things and then we'll maybe keep messing around with this for a little bit longer. Or we can call it here. At least we have dirt and stone now. I would say that does look, other than being really flat up there, that does look a little less uniform and a little less artificial. So that's nice. That's good. I actually do kind of enjoy how that looks now. We'll have to remember to kind of do stuff like that as we work on other things. I would say though, we're starting to reach a point where the where this island is like freaking close to the island. Yeah, it's our little island we made is basically touching the end island. Which I guess is fine. You know, it's okay. Heck, maybe we make a second bridge. Go in another direction. And at least now we do have space to do a lot of the things I wanted to do. Like, okay, come on. There we go. So maybe instead of... Where is thing? There is thing. Is this gonna ruin anything? It did. Gosh darn it. Okay, if everything's gonna get ruined if we touch it, guess we'll have to go with these ones. That's what I was figuring, but I was really hoping, kinda hoping, I could just goof around. It's not quite in the right spot. That's fair. That's fine, though. That's okay. Now we can at least reach the, that little end island, too. So that becomes a part of this. Nice. A secret part. A secret third part, actually. That's cool. So, I don't know if this is going to be the final size and the final look of everything. Because there is a part of me that's like, well, you know, what we could do is we could get rid of the bridge right here and, like, extend this out and make that look more uniform. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know, man. I don't want to mess with the bridge anymore. I just want to be done with this. We've been messing around with it so much. But at the same time, there's a part that's like, yeah, but we messed around with it so much. Wouldn't it be nice to have it look really good? And I do have to agree with that a little bit. It would be nice to have it look really good. And there's a part of me that's like, maybe just raise everything that's dirt, so it's a little bit above the pool. So it's not so flat. But then that would make that flat, so it's like, I don't know. I don't really like that either. I don't know what I want anymore. It's unfortunate. Or do we raise everything up one, all the dirt one, and then, I don't know. Like, make stone steps and have them be on top here. And then raise all the dirt one. And then also raise this dirt over here by another one. That's a lot of dirt. We might have it, though. We might have enough to do that, though. Heck, we probably have enough stone to make a bunch of stone stairs. I mean, we probably shouldn't. But who's going to stop me? I know I'm not. There we go. Alright, we got a full stack. That's good enough for me. I appreciate that it didn't go to the hot bar, it just went wherever it had to go. Okay. And I can get out. Yeah, okay. As long as I can jump out, that's all I care about. That's not gonna work, is it? So... And that's not gonna... Oh, hey, yeah, it did. Cool, cool. Splendid. Splendiferous. Well, that's not the way that's supposed to go. Do we have a pickaxe? And do I have a trusty pickaxe waiting in the wings? I do. Nice. So I guess we'll finish this up by placing some stone steps around, and then we will next time come back and hopefully finalize our island. Probably not. But you know, we can dream, right? We can dream. Hopefully we're not trapping ourselves in this. That would be awful. That would simply be too awful to compare. Okay, and okay, you're underneath me, right? Random hooting freak. You better be. I don't respect your authority in these matters. Honestly, though, this one should go like that. And I don't know. Yeah, that should be the way it goes, I think. I feel. And if we had more stone, I would probably place it Of course, I guess we don't really need something like that, I guess. We really just need the step for... I don't know. I guess we'll see. There's a part of me that's like... maybe... yeah, having this pointed towards this way would be better. I mean, it's not like we did that anywhere else, so it's a little weird. It is a kind of... oh, cool, cool. I like that. A bit of a weird choice, but you know what? We can make it work. There we go. Even if it has to be retroactively. How much stone do we have? We've got a fair amount. So we can do a lot of nonsense, I feel. With stone and steps. Okay, I feel like that's enough. For what I'm thinking of. Oh, and you know what? Why not get rid of this? Also bring that. And then... I do think... that how I'm gonna feel about these kind of, yeah, depends on how that looks. And it doesn't look good, I would say, if we're being honest. I don't know. Maybe what we want to do is actually shrink the land a little bit. And actually, I don't know. I don't know what I want. Because I thought this was fine. But it is gonna be a little awkward. And it's gonna be awkward no matter what, just because of the way it is, I guess. Maybe there's no way to make me happy about it. Maybe there's no way to be happy about it. It's just gonna look a little weird no matter what we do. Unfortunately. And maybe that's just how we do it. We just kinda... I don't know. Something I was thinking of long before, though, was simply... At the same time, I don't like that because, like, that makes that weird. Like, if it didn't have the little air pocket, I wouldn't think that's so bad, but I don't like the little air pocket. Okay, so we wasted a lot of stone to make a lot of statue. Dang, I should have just checked. Why? Why didn't I check? Yeah, it doesn't look too bad from a distance, I think. So maybe we won't sacrifice any land. Maybe we'll just do what we can. And then... Or maybe we will. Sacrifice a little land to make this look a little more complete. Wrong thing. Wrong thing once again. Thanks, me. In my amazing ability to just... And at least we can't fall off this side. Honestly, if we're gonna do that, it might be worth it to take the outer side and raise that up as well. I feel like that's something we're gonna have to do then, isn't it? Just gonna have to be mindful about all the stone we're gonna be wasting to do this all. Or spending. It's not really wasting if we're actually using it to create an island. It's not really a waste, it's just it's an expenditure. Okay. All right, so next time we'll raise the land up a bunch. Okay. And maybe finalize our outward borders. I guess. We're doing what we can. I always wanted to keep this here just so we can have another waterfall. Maybe get rid of that then and have a waterfall falling off that side? I don't know. Got a lot of stuff I don't want to lose in case we accidentally look at a slender guy. Stilt guy. Yeah, we've definitely made a lot of progress, I would say. Parts of this are looking okay. Parts of this are looking a little weird. Honestly, there's a part of me that's like, well, you know, instead of using the stairs, instead of making all those stairs, we should have just made some stone fencing and put this fencing around. I don't like it because the stone fencing doesn't mesh with the it doesn't connect with the wood. And I don't know if I really want to do stone fencing all the way around, you know? I do kind of like the rustic look of the wood fencing. So we'll have to see. We will do more work on this next time, I guess. Defeatedly. I'm kind of defeated about that. Oh no. Oh dear. It is what it is. We're doing what we can. So I will see you guys next time, where I will hopefully be talking a little less about politics and values and heavy stuff, and a little more about just how fun life is, how cool it is to watch things grow and watch people like be born and grow up. Like there's a whole world out there that's really cool. Don't ever lose sight of that. You're a part of it too. So you know, with this one life you get, you might as well make it really good. You might as well really like seize the bull by the horns. Enjoy it. I know that's a little sappy, but I don't know. Is it wrong? Am I wrong? So I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Bye.